The late George Carlin once quipped, "Why do we drive on a parkway and park on a driveway?" For many of us, driving on the parkway has become an integral part of our lives, but rarely do any of the major differences between the parkway and most every other road come to our mind. There is a big reason for these differences, and it's not as far removed from George Carlin's question as you might think. Now, there are a few things you won't find on most parkways in America. No traffic lights, no stop signs, just pavement, paint, exit signs, and the occasional guardrail. But there is one big thing missing from a parkway as compared to most other roads. There is no house, residential address, or any other locality on the Garden State Parkway, nor virtually every parkway, turnpike, and freeway in the US. Now, why is that? Why can no person live and have their address at, say, 109 Garden State Parkway? Well, there is one structure that motorists are quite accustomed to encountering when traveling on parkways in the US, and that is the toll booth. Many of us go our whole lives paying highway tolls ranging from 50 cents to upwards of $50 without even really questioning it. But most of those same people driving on the parkway also believe that they are driving on a public road, a road that their tax money is supposedly paying for. So why would they need to pay an extra toll or fee to use the highway? Well, George Carlin alluded to it whether he realized it or not, because when we are driving on the parkway, we are driving on somebody's private road. Merriam-Webster defines driveway as a private road giving access from a public way to a building on abutting grounds, which essentially means for something to be considered a driveway, like the place you pull into when you get home after work, it must be to a building on abutting grounds, which is just a fancy way of saying to somewhere. So how different does that make a driveway from a parkway? The answer is not really that different at all, because when you were driving on the Garden State Parkway, you were using someone's private road, somebody's driveway, which you accessed from your local road exit. And this is why you pay a fee to access these parkways, because when you enter onto a parkway in the US, you are leaving local and county roads that your taxes do support and are now driving on a road that is owned and maintained by someone else. If you are stuck on the side of the parkway, roadside services like AAA will not help you out, and they will tell you, "We apologize, but we do not operate on private roads such as the Garden State Parkway or the New Jersey Turnpike." It's been said that there's always another way to get somewhere, and this is true of the roads we drive on, and likely the justification for the toll booth in the United States, because local roads are always an option. But you still pay a toll to whoever's highway this is. So the next question is, whose road are you driving on? A cursory Google search will tell you the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. But you don't have to dive too much deeper into the same search to find that this isn't a complete answer. In 2006, the New York Times reported that the New Jersey Turnpike Authority planned to sell a, quote, 49% stake of both the Turnpike and the Parkway to investors at around $6 billion, citing cities like Chicago, who had already done this in 2005 with their Chicago Skyway. Not only that, in 2016, Bloomberg reported that an entire market valued at $149 million had been created through securitizing the tolls collected along the roads, essentially meaning that the roads have become their own stock market where investors can bet on how many tolls they can collect each year. The world truly operates in an incredibly complex fashion, and many things are not as they appear to be. The Garden State Parkway and the New Jersey Turnpike are proof, but this does not just apply to Jersey. This is true of most of the parkways you'll find in the continental US. One category of parkways that you might not find tolls on are national parkways, owned and maintained by the National Park Service at the federal level. These roads are, in turn, funded by your taxes, your federal taxes. But it is the privatization of roadways in the United States that many citizens are completely unaware of, despite the fact that they may drive on these roads daily. The men and women who run this world sometimes do so in strange ways that we don't often wonder about or expect, simply because most of the time things run smoothly. but understanding some of the smaller details about our direct interactions with our surroundings might help us get a clearer and broader picture about the world we live in and what exactly our part is inside of that world. For other videos and more content, check out my channel Beyond Common Knowledge and click below to subscribe. It costs you nothing but a click, but it means everything to me and other YouTubers out there. And for more access and benefits, including newsletters and request a video, check out my Patreon page.